Okay, today, chapter 15, section 2, ideas that shaped Darwin's thinking. An ancient changing earth. Key concept number 1, how did Hutton and Lyell describe geological change? Hutton and Lyell helped scientists recognize that the earth is many millions of years old, and the processes that changed Earth in the past are the same processes that operate in the present. What they're talking about is earthquakes, weather, volcanoes. Those are the processes they're talking about. Plate tectonics, plate shifting. In 1795, James Hutton published a hypothesis about the geological forces that shaped Earth. Most of these geological forces operate very slowly over millions of years. Hutton proposed that Earth had to be much more than a few thousand years old. Lyell's principles of geology. All right, geology is the study of the Earth. Lyell stressed that scientists must explain past events in terms of processes that they can actually observe. The processes that shaped the Earth millions of years earlier continue in the present. Lyell's work explained how geological features could be built up or torn down over long periods of time. This understanding of geology influenced Darwin. If the Earth could change over time, life might change as well, Darwin thought. It would have taken many years for life to change in the way Lyell suggested. This would have been possible only if the Earth were extremely old. Key concept number 2. According to Lamarck, how did species evolve? Lamarck's evolution hypothesis. Jean-Baptiste Lamarck recognized that living things have changed over time. All species were descended from other species. Organisms were adapted to their environments. Lamarck proposed that by selective use or disuse of organs, organisms acquired or lost certain traits during their lifetime. These traits could then be passed on to their offspring. Over time, this process led to change in the species. Tendency toward perfection. Lamarck proposed that all organisms have an innate tendency toward complexity and perfection. They are continually changing and acquiring features that help them live more successfully in their environments. Use and disuse. Lamarck proposed that organisms could alter the size or shape of particular organs by using their bodies in new ways. A male fiddler crab uses its front claw to ward off predators and to attract mates. As we see here in Lamarck's hypothesis, you see a picture of the crab. He's got his one claw up, and he's warding off predators, and he is attracting mates. Because the front claw is used repeatedly, it becomes larger. Now he's got a super claw. Okay, and his claw grows, and then when he mates, he gets a bigger claw. Because the front claw is used repeatedly, it becomes larger. This characteristic large claw is passed on to its offspring. Inheritance of acquired traits are incorrect in several ways. Lamarck did not know how traits are inherited, as in DNA. That an organism's behavior has no effect on its inheritable characteristics. However, he paved the way for the work of later biologists. Key concept number 3. What was Malthus's theory of population growth? Population growth. In 1798, Thomas Malthus published a book in which he noted that babies were being born faster than people were dying. The only forces he observed that worked against this growth were war, famine, which is starvation, and disease. Malthus reasoned that if the human population continued to grow unchecked, sooner or later there would be insufficient living space or food for everyone. And we're slowly reaching that point. They say like by 2050, the population on Earth will be so large that there won't be enough crops to feed them. When Darwin read Malthus's work, he realized that this reasoning applied to plants and animals. If all the offspring of almost any species survived for several generations, they would overrun the world. This information was central to Darwin's explanation of evolutionary change. All right, so that was a quick little section quiz. Hutton and Lyell recognized that geological processes indicate that the Earth is many millions of years old. Number 2, the discovery of many fossils challenged the idea that species had never changed over time. Which of the following scientists proposed the hypothesis of selective use and disuse? Lamarck. The scientist that proposed that Earth is shaped by geological forces that took place over long periods of time is Hutton. Darwin's reading of Thomas Malthus made him realize that living things produce more offspring than can possibly survive.